I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
AutoSave, welcome to our channel.
Today, watching My Hero Academia Season 8, Episode 3. My Hero Academia is at its best when Katsuki Bakugo is on the screen. So that is why I am excited for this episode.
If they gave us Bakugo at the end of last episode and then we're not gonna see Bakugo in this episode, I would be very surprised.
I'd be very upset.
I probably would also be very upset.
You ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, it's like the Star of Bethlehem.
Like, I already know what's coming, but why am I emotional again? The sound.
Stitches. Oh my god. Just the light in his eyes flickering.
Make sure you don't miss a minute of this.
Oh!
Wait, wasn't that what I was scared of?
That was awful. Oh.
さっきの放送事故、もうアップされてる。
発生した巨大な積乱雲は現在も急速に発達しており。マルティ、もうすぐご飯よ。
オールマイト、死んじゃうよとな。
This is so cool.
同時多発的局所温度上昇にかつてないほどの大規模な火災積乱雲が形成されたのではとのことです。世界は一人の力で変えられます。
Wow, to go from that transition of both of them up close to both like jumping right into action.
Oh my god!
Are we swinging him?
Oh my god, it's more and more of All Might. Oh my god! Howitzer with fucking One for All. He's not there yet. Oh my god, this looks so good.
It wasn't just Midoriya. Wow, look at that! Oh! Oh!
互いを認め合い、まっとうに高め合うこと
ことができれば勝って助ける最高のヒーローになれるんだ。こじゃなかったのか。ナイトアイ。
That was it.
オールマイト。
That was gonna be it.
の終わりだった。運命がねじ曲がったんだよ。君の夢はあそこで終わった。
先達は死して託すと相場は決まっているんだな。
コミックの話さ。
That's what happens in comic books.
僕に何を言わせてんだろうね。私は
人間だもの。楽には死ねないさ。
Holy shit, Bakugo.
なんだこの光は。
この人どっかで昔ヴィラン連合に拉致られた。
Oh my god.
ああこいつ体育祭で拘束されてた。名前なんだっけ。
Oh. Put respect on his name.
爆豪少年大丈夫か。こっちのセリフじゃよぼよぼのじいさんがよ。
Oh my god.
それはこっちのセリフでもあるんだか。
Edge shot.
ちょっと
One of the kids had an edge shot figurine. That's crazy.
少しは楽になったか。
Oh my god.
格造機折れた骨秘伝がかまたりもやい結びを施したゆえ売ることはない。だから一息が地獄の痛みのはずだ。いい体じゃない。わかってる。生かしてくれてありがとう先輩。心配を強制的に動かし続けてはいたが戻らなかった。自身の生命活動を削る姿、限界を迎え、自分か爆豪の命かを天秤
My
に
own life and
追
yours.
えなくなった頃、血流に乗り流れてきたそれは死の直前、爆豪の全身から汗の玉。俺は
The nitroglycerin fucking jump started his heart.
お前が磨いてきた力だ。言われなくても俺はあんたのも超えるヒーローになる。状況的にオール・フォー・ワンだと思ってる。あの罪オール・フォー・ワンだよ少年。凝結で動けない。手を。機能は失っているが添え木くらいにはな。
Oh, cool.
Like a transfer. Oh.
Passing a torch in a different way.
大爆殺神ダイナマイト。こんなものしか与えてやれないが。
But to have given him something. Oh my god.
どうする。オールマイト。
That's like all he needed.
I can't pick up my pen.
後回しだ。ここまで来たらお先にいただく。すべて考慮していたはずだ。
Thought he had taken everything into account. All his plans.
腹渡が煮えくり返る。目指すゴールへのルートは揺るがない。なのに
Why pick that?
車が来る。
Oh my god!
Oh.
俺がラスボスだ。オールフォー。
Oh!
いつに拭えねえもんはこっちで拭ってな。
Final boss.
I love how sketchy the lines are.
分断作戦撃点制圧完了。負傷者たちの救
Oh, wow. Hagakure looks crazy cool.
Oh, trouble.
イレーザーヘッドプレゼントマイクとともに
Oh my god.
最終的に緑や出久を信じる戦いになる。
僕らと一緒に戦ってください。
That
you
happened
looked up
to
at the
you.
right time.
早い。あいつ死の間際しがらきすら翻弄する動き何かをつかみにかけている途中だった。たくこう
That's respect.
何度でもさらにフォースで何とかしのいできたけど前より強化されている肉体にどう対処するか
Great question.
答えは見つからなかった。
Oh, listen to his voice.
最後発動した以上は今度こそ最後さらに向こうへ
Oh my god.
威力が大したことない。エンデバーやダークシャドウほどの後にすればいい。オールマイトとは比べ物がない。
Just you fucking wait.
巻き戻しを進行させてまでかか兵にしもあの石ころにが
Wrong.
He was given that connection.
できた。痛みだ。
It's pain.
手のひらに溜めた汗粒が全身を駆け巡る。
Oh my god.
吹き出る痛み。その位置かめ誘惑のタイミング。
Holy shit, Bakugo. He's like skipping along. Toshinori's insane? What about fucking Bakugo?
まだお前に追いつけるか。なんてだろうな。なんか今追い越せそうな
You can, you can.
見て
He's facing
そ
him.
れでも見なきゃ。あの子きっといつもみたいに笑ってるはずだから。
なぜだ。さっきからなぜこの石ころに
Because maybe he's not a pebble after all.
僕はオールマイト以上の
Oh.
良一ならもういないぞ魔王。お前が殺したんだ。似ている。憎しみを宿したことで。そうだこいつだ。こいつだったんだ。こいつが良一に弟に手を差し伸べなければ。
Wow. He would have been that much easier to crush.
とも憎いのはお前だ。
Shit just got personal.
お前のせいだ。くだ。だけバーゲー。ググオのガッツだ。
Oh,
I'm lightheaded. I don't know how I'm gonna talk.
I was so emotional throughout all of it. And then once Bakugo's mom was on the screen being like, we have to watch, I was like, ah.
It was so good narratively, and then it just took off in terms of animation and like how quick everything was going. They really gave me a Bakugo episode and also brought Meryl back for a cameo. I'm so thankful. Okay, that was My Hero Academia, Season 8, Episode 3.
How do you feel right now?
Like I'm gonna faint. I'm speechless.
Wow.
I don't know what to say. That was incredible. That was amazing.
I would
That was
agree.
everything.
It was everything. We are big fans of Bakugo, and so this was, in fact, everything.
I don't think it even comes down to that. Like, I think it was just such a fantastic, like, culmination of so many moments and themes throughout the story coming together in such a great way with such a great character and in such a great approach. Like, I know, like, I don't know what movies have you seen for My Hero Academia? Have you seen any of them?
I saw the one, the girl that says Uncle Might.
Yeah.
I saw that movie.
Okay.
I saw it with you.
I don't want to. I've seen the second movie and not the third, but like there are different ideas even before I saw the second movie of like you know, fan theories or like worlds that alternate realities Bakugo was given one for all, you know, type like narratives. And I've always thought the discussion of like even back in season 2 of My Hero Academia, Izuku's questioning like how strong Todoroki would be if he had one for all. And the idea of it being Bakugo and Bakugo being such a fan of All Might, I always like wondered how you'd play around the idea of giving that to him without being able to anymore, because All Might can no longer do that. Obviously, Midoriya has the quirk, but there's something that's so important to Bakugo as a character with how he looks up to All Might and how he inspires him that I wanted there to always be some payoff with, but I couldn't think of anything that you could do. Him passing the armor over was absolutely breathtaking because it's all Might has become without a quirk. It's all that All Might has built up with all of his students and all of his pride. Hercules meant something, and passing that to Bakugo was amazing.
It's truly like next generation. It's truly like you're saying, passing on. All Might now has nothing to fight with. He no longer has one for all because that was given to Deku, and now he no longer has this last ditch effort to kind of even delay or fight All for One. So we're literally giving over the last of our power, even though it's just basically going to be a splint. We're giving everything we have left basically over to Bakugo, and incredibly emotional moment, giving him the transfer of something.
Can
What
I
a
just
great
like
touch.
talk about something for a second? Like 4 minutes and 35 seconds into the episode, I'm like, what Bakugo saved by saving All Might? When we saw at the beginning of this episode All Might's body being ripped apart, it was horrifying to see. But what really I think would have been the not more horrific, it would have been awful to see is with All Might's body being torn into two there, if that did come to fruition, everything that All Might built would have potentially been lost to some degree, depending on how the rest of the battle goes, obviously. But my point being, what Bakugo saved by saving All Might wasn't just the physical body of All Might. The entire world is watching, and with that, you are maintaining and pushing the line forward that All Might has always stood on and grown.
And for Bakugo in particular, him being able to save All Might comes kind of full circle with some of the emotional journey that he's been on throughout these seasons. It feels good, morale boosting, especially for him in this moment, that he was able to save him here. Because if he had been too late, I don't know if he would have ended up being as final boss ready as he got to be in this episode.
That's a good point.
But like also just what that would have been graphically, like you're saying, it would have completely destroyed so much. Like we're talking about this wind, this hope for change, this energy. The energy could have gone stagnant as soon as, especially if you see something so graphic on screen, you're going to turn your eyes away from it. You're going to turn into a puddle. You're going to huddle together. Your prayers are not going to be shooting off in the way that we saw them in such a lovely kind of visual representation of them. You are going to go into despair, especially after literally having to see what I was afraid was what was gonna happen.
I
with,
love
like,
the
kind of, like,
the
ripping.
representation of it being like the vestige growing more and more into him, and like showing his loss of life and how close he was to fully being gone, and it being snapped right back with
And
the
Shigaraki
editing.
was calling it. He was like, "You can see him more now."
Yeah, honestly, one of my favorite moments of this episode was Bakugo being recognized as the kid who was kidnapped by the League. Like, the idea that the League of Villains kidnapped this kid, you remember it that strongly, trying to put the puzzle pieces together of this equals what I'm seeing right now must be one of the best puzzles to ever complete. Because, like, holy shit, is that a sign of what a hero is?
I also like that there were some other reasons people recognized him. Like, oh, didn't he have to get, like, restrained once? Like,
Yeah.
didn't that happen? And then obviously his parents. Of course, they recognize that it's him on the screen.
I can't watch. And then Bakugo's mom was like, you have to watch anyway. That was
Yeah.
incredible. Oh my.
Especially because of what the look on his face probably was.
Yeah. I don't think that I have ever, I don't know. I can't, I wish I could relive the feeling of watching Bakugo's reaction to the transfer of the All Might armor again on loop for the rest of my life. I wish I could feel that again right now. That was incredible. I don't even want to like use terms like smile or no, it doesn't do it just does the disservice. The reaction that Bakugo had.
There was a purity to it. It was so pure and so special, and it's gonna stay there engraved in my brain as like a special memory from My Hero.
Another great fucking moment. Okay, so it looked like I'm probably butchering the name, so I apologize, but it looked like Bakugo was using Deku to like double like Howitzer impact almost to get him to All for One quicker. And right before that happened, like there was this quick like half-second acknowledgement between the two of them, and they looked at each other and they like completely knew what they were gonna do and be on the same page. It was so good.
Yep. I feel like watching My Hero, especially since we've gotten into like season 7 and season 8, and we're really in this like long battle that has like a bunch of different battlegrounds, a bunch of different players in the game. And I say players because it kind of feels like how you feel when you watch a sport. When you watch a game and there's a goal and everyone stands up and they cheers, or everyone has their hands clutched like hoping for something good to happen, hoping maybe for the downfall of the other team. But it feels like there's this ebb and this flow of like despair to excitement and celebration that is happening. It almost feels like we're watching a game.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Like being able to have like the full like aspect of the entire team within the heroes and being able to see the bigger picture.
Yeah,
with
like
that.
who has their game face on today, you know?
Yeah. Oh my god, man. I'm still like seeing Bakugo save All Might was so reminiscent of like All Might coming in at season 1 episode like 11 or 12 and coming in and saving the kids, and then having Bakugo save All Might in that way. It reminded me of like season 5 Bakugo when he made the decision that like he was gonna have a flawless victory and save everyone, and obviously All Might is not doing very well like physically and in terms of health, but saving everyone being the point. So good.
Because it's not necessarily a comic book. Who said that All Might had to die just because he already passed on to his successor the power?
Bringing up the comic book in that context is so interesting too, because it's so reminiscent of the origins of All for One and his brother in terms of comic books. And I'm using that as a segue to start talking about Kudo.
Okay.
When I first saw Kudo in My Hero Academia, I was like, oh my god, like relative for sure, right?
Ancestor.
I don't think that's the point. I don't think that's what they're saying, but I think the idea behind there being a Kudo in existence, multiple of them, I'm sure, in terms of the way that they'd act and respond, what they stand for, is extraordinary. And I love that it brought out that hatred from All for One.
It's like when something is written to have a reveal later on of like why it's being written in the story. Like you said, when we first got Kudo, we were like, hey, that kind of resembles Bakugo. Are we going to be doing something here in terms of relation? But really what it is to show us in this moment, tons and tons of time has passed since we originally had those thoughts, tons of time has passed, and now we're using it. What it represents is a convincing distraction. This is not a pebble anymore. There's personal reasons why All For One is going to want to fight Bakugo now and not want to just get to Shigaraki.
It's also like extremely reminiscent of, you know, when Deku's out and we're getting the vestiges talking about like there being one thing he needs above all else, friends. It's coming from personal experience, and All For One is frustrated with that. Without Kudo there, he doesn't have that resource and that backbone and stability to be able to so easily push on and keep going.
And one of the things he blames it on, I feel like so perfectly ties in terms of like a parallel and a theme, is the idea of reaching out your hand to someone else and grasping hands with someone else. If only that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Is what he says. And that's what we see across everything, whether it's the transfer of Hercules as a splint to Bakugo, just reaching out of the hand, what we know Deku wants to do to Shigaraki. That's really just what a giant theme in the story is. And if that didn't happen, where would we be? Obviously, this is not necessarily a plan that All For One has accounted for, and so he's probably exceedingly frustrated at this point, but honestly, let's take advantage of that.
I want to talk about Sir Night-Eye for a minute.
Okay.
Like, the idea, I thought that the way that they brought him back was super interesting too, because when I was envisioning, when I first watched Sir Night-Eye's like plea to All Might while he was crutching, walking out of the hospital room, saying how horrific of a death that he was going to experience and there was no getting out of it, I was almost like telling myself, well, that'll tell me that I'll probably never see anything close to that happening, because I couldn't even imagine like them showing me All Might dying gruesomely. Fast forward to fucking now, I'm a fucking idiot. This is the worst thing imaginable, and I don't know. I think it's interesting because the way that they're phrasing it and playing with All Might's what he's seeing right now is almost like an illusion or like a vision, and like he's putting that on. So in one way, it's somewhat reliable and somewhat isn't in terms of if this is actually that predicted future that Night-Eye specifically saw. But I like the way that they're setting it up and the way that they are because of that.
I mean, the last couple episodes, everything for this season thus far, All Might has continuously envisioned people from his past that are important to him and wondered if the words that he's putting in their mouths are his own creation. So yes, is this really the future that Night-Eye saw, the death that Night-Eye saw? Well, it definitely would have been gruesome. But something else that Night-Eye had brought up that we get to see in this episode is exactly what he saw in Deku that he recognized as something really amazing that could change the tides of the future that he predicted, is this energy. The winds can change.
Strong vision with no room for doubt. A strong vision with no room for doubt. And being able to see that in Bakugo is so fucking amazing.
And I just want to shout out again to Bakugo. Like, not only did he save All Might here, but he also basically saved his own life also. To some degree, like Edshot was like, it got to the point where it was him or me, and then as soon as it got to that point, bam, I noticed
sweat
something.
Came back and went through his bloodstream and fucking jump-started his own heart. It was insane.
So, shout out to unconscious, dying Bakugo, and his quirk in his body just kind of acting on its own.
Dude,
there.
shout out fucking Edshot. Oh my
shout
lord.
Shout out Edshot. Honestly, seeing him like that, like a little, like, I don't know, like a tapeworm.
Dying
I don't know. It's really, it's really awful, and I don't like it. And I would rather see him.
I think that it makes so much
Edshot.
sense that there's emphasis on the stitches now in the intro because of what really happened to get them there and how much it took to get him back.
It's very clear. It's very clear what happened.
Yeah, I like the idea that Bakugo, he was just on the verge of understanding something more about his quirk while he died, while his heart stopped beating. And because of that, being reawakened, and although in severe fucking pain, you're able to realize that it's pain. It's the pain, and then break it down to be able to, I don't know, he looks pretty fucking masterful with it so far.
I'm so glad you brought that up, that he was literally stopped in his tracks from being on this journey of like learning more and being able to like go the next step plus ultra, you know what I mean? And now that we're awake again, we got to do that, and it was beautiful. Do you have anything else?
Yeah,
I have one last thing.
I wanted to talk about, like, what are your thoughts on how they're able to, like, they cut away to so many different situations, but not even situations with, like, characters that we know and fights that we saw and the aftermath, like one of them is still going on, obviously.
That was my last point. Yeah.
But like the idea of seeing characters that we don't really know, and even if it's them continuing life, listening to this in the background and it not really affecting them, I really enjoy that is part of the story here, because that shows the middle ground of humanity.
I love seeing how real it is. Like, some of them are very in tune with what they're watching on TV and really caring about it, and others we're not very like into it. Like, oh, this isn't our problem. You know, this is another country's affair. It's not going to involve us. My job right now is my deadlines are more important than what's going on in some other country. And then to have like that everyday life aspect, like, oh, dinner's almost ready. Okay, I'll be there in a second, Mom, you know, and you're watching something. But then to have that character that just told his mom he'd be right there, clasping his hands together, you know, in one last kind of hope or push or someone's prayer, you know, that All Might would survive. I loved like peeking into what feels like what really would be happening across the world.
So you wanted to talk about the battle that is ongoing? There's
one last one, and it apparently is not going super well.
Yeah, I wonder if and when we will cut into it.
I feel like if we're being told that everything else is going like well and has either been completely like we've completely dealt with it, we're all good, we have the suspects in handcuffs, you know what I mean? Like, if everything else is going well, but we're specifying that there's one that is not.
Yeah.
I feel like what do you do there? Do you cut into what is the giant final battle between 4 crazy characters? Do you cut out of that to go see what's happening there?
What if,
or is that our one loss?
What if the final battle travels such a distance that it like goes through this other battle, you know?
Yeah, your thought is better than mine. My thought was like, what if that's our one loss?
Oh, that'd be fucked up.
Yeah.
We also got the mention of Kurogiri, Present Mike, and Aizawa being
MIA.
Yeah, MIA at the moment. If we are cutting elsewhere, that'd be an interesting thing to check in on.
Ooh, wonder if that might come into play with the one that's not going so well, the battle that's not going well.
Maybe, because I still cope that Chirakumo could like somehow be saved.
Yes,
but whatever.
You saw him hug that kitten.
Yeah. All right. My last thing, I guess, is to bring up this beautiful piece of art.
It was really nice that we had Deku and Bakugo at the beginning of the episode spliced with the screen, but then to get this, crazy work.
It's beautiful. Love it. For some reason, I just want to cover up like the left quarter of it and then just have the 3 of them.
Yeah, you know? I totally agree. I'm sorry, All for One, but like Shigaraki.
Yeah. All right, you good?
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you next time.